I do love some of the news articles where they are very careful with their language, but you know exactly what they're trying to say. And this one says, no, this one, what it's trying to say is Legacy Auto need huge balls to be able to succeed with EVs. I'm Dave. Welcome to Dave Takes It On. Okay, so what's going on with this? Let me give you an analogy because it might be easier to understand. I'm a Formula One fan, Mercedes fan, everything. But if you look at the moment, Red Bull's the team to beat with Max Verstappen. Now, at the end of every season, they have a certain budget they're allowed to spend, and there's certain areas of the car they're allowed to develop. And sometimes they're allowed to do a huge amount, and other times it's just a tweak. And all teams are the same, so there's no unfairness. And it's all designed to try and get all the teams much more level in spending and get their overall spending down. So you don't have the old days where Formula One, they used to have an engine just specifically for qualifying. It would do qualifying and blow up, and you'd have a different one for the race. Smaller teams just couldn't keep up with that. So picture the scene, it's the end of the season. You're Red Bull, you've had a great season again, you're world champion for the driver, you're world champion for the constructor, and you get a list now of how much you're allowed to spend over the winter and a list of which areas of the car you're allowed to work on. And you know everyone else is doing exactly the same. So, two schools of thought here. Now the first one is, let's go mad. Let's take the money and we'll spend it all on this particular part of the car. We got some great ideas, never tried them, but when we run them through the computer, they tell us we're going to gain a second a lap over the competition. So as long as they don't do anything themselves really radical over the winter, we're going to be a second faster than them next year. So we're going to win the World Championship next year, and we're going to have a World Championship driver in our team next year. So that's the first approach. Let's go radical. Let's try and get a second ahead of them so they're no threat. We can win every race. The other team say, whoa, what if it doesn't work? What if we do that and in actual fact it's not faster, it's actually slower? We could lose everything we've gained over the last 2 or 3 years with winning the World Championships. Just because we've tried something different, something radical. So no. The way for next season is to leave the car as it is. It's actually working well. It's won a race this season. Let's just pick a little area here or there and let's try and tweak it a little bit so that if it proves faster, we'll keep it. If it doesn't prove faster, it's only a little bit. We'll just go back to last year's car and we'll still probably win. So you've got this dilemma. What do you do? And this is where the balls come in. Someone has to make the decision, and in this case Christian Horner, he's the team boss, he owns the team, and it's his job, amongst others, with other people, is to say let's do that or let's do that. And if he gets it wrong, he could cost the team the championship for next season. So there's a very, very, very strong and powerful argument to say, look, it's working. It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Let's just stick with what we've got and we'll do a few tweaks here and there and we'll develop something in the background quietly, not big budget, so that if we get it wrong and the others have got ahead of us, we've actually got something. But we don't mess up what we've got at the moment. Very, very strong argument for that. So, going back to Legacy Auto, that's the situation they're in. They are at a point where they have a business. It's taken them 100 years to build it up. They are multi-billion-pound businesses. They have huge profits, massive factories all over the world, reputations, everything. And they are very, very, very good at making ice cars. That's either pure ice or hybrids. And all of a sudden someone comes along and says, look, you know, these EVs, these are the future. You need to bin what you're doing and let's start again. Let's develop the best EV that we can possibly find, go out and get the best components we can at the best price we can, and blow the risk. Let's go all in on EVs and hope that they outsell the existing cars. And against that, there'll be someone there arguing, whoa, we've been earning a living off cars for 100 years. These EVs, nobody even knows if anyone wants them yet. Oh, they've sold a few, but we sell a lot more than them. And so, no, don't upset the apple cart. Don't change anything. Let's stick with ICE for as long as we possibly can. But if they want EVs, let's stick a little battery in and give them a hybrid. We're still making the petrol ones and we're still quite happy. We don't have to change very much, but it's giving them a little bit of something. And so within the legacy auto, within the Mercedes and the Fords and General Motors and the Citroens and the Renaults, there'll be people there going, whoa, hang on a minute. We need to protect what we've got. We don't want to go venturing off into EVs or anything other than that. We don't want to spend a lot of money. The last thing we actually want is for them to be better than the petrol, diesel and hybrids that we're already making, because everybody will instantly stop buying these. Now, just picture it. Ford, for example, I don't know how much they own, how many factories they own, how much they're worth. It's not really totally relevant. It's a lot. And they've got all these factories which are making ICE cars or hybrid cars. And they've got all the staff trained up making ICE or hybrid cars. And they've got all the showrooms geared up selling ICE or hybrid cars. And so if they ever did invent an EV, which was absolutely a Tesla beater, half the price and twice the speed and everything else, every one of those is now useless, redundant, scrap. Nobody wants a factory anymore, which is selling something that nobody wants because you've got a better one. And you're going to have to build a whole pile of new factories. So your existing net worth drops down to virtually zero. And the reason I say it's virtually zero, first of all, you don't want them, but who else would? You're now making the best EV in the world in this hypothetical situation, and everyone wants to buy it, like everyone wants to buy a Tesla at the moment. So who wants to buy a factory that makes something that nobody wants? You couldn't make a profit out of them anymore, so you're scrapping it. So why on earth would somebody buy it? So you've got this situation, and this is coming down now to someone having the balls to make the decision. And I go back to Formula One for this, and just looking at aerodynamics, for example. Fascinating to look into the technology going into it. They have something called downforce. So as they're driving along, they've got wings and flaps and shaped bits and everything. And what it does, it pushes the car down onto the floor. The faster you go, the further it pushes it onto the road. So when you come to a bend, your car is stuck to the road, absolutely stuck to the road. And you can go around right angle bends, absolutely crazy speeds, and a car will stick there. But as you slow down, that downforce reduces and you can't go around the bend as fast. And if you slow down again, you can't go around the bend as fast. And this is really where the balls come into this, because if you're a Formula One driver, you have to go flat out into that corner, hoping, believing and praying that the downforce will be the same as it was last lap and you'll be able to get round in one piece alive. And that's where Legacy are at the moment. They're in the point where they have to make that decision. And unfortunately, the world is moving on and EVs are taking off slower than people thought. But the Legacy market is also slowing down dramatically. People are hanging on to the cars for longer and they're waiting for the EVs to get cheaper and better. So their existing market is failing. They need the guts to be able to say, right, all in, let's go EVs, scrap everything we've got, and let's become the biggest, best, most profitable EV manufacturing company in the whole world. They won't. It's such a shame they have the ability to do it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Dave. If you've enjoyed this, click the like button. If you want to see more, click the subscribe. You know the rules. I'm Dave. Thanks for watching.